Eye-opener for June 5th, 2026. The elite are the world's biggest preppers. I wonder why. Normally, I only post one video per weekday, but recently I have felt more of a sense of urgency. So, today I am posting this second video because the walls seem to be closing in faster every day. Years ago, I asked the following question. Where will the rich go once they've turned Earth into one giant ghetto? Well, I think we have our answer. For, as it turns out, the elite are the biggest preppers on planet Earth. Whether it's private islands like the one Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner are planning on developing off the coast of Albania, or running to countries like Argentina, as Peter Thiel is doing, America's elite are making plans to abandon the country they've ruined. In the case of the Trumps, it seems the tactic is to plunder as much wealth as they can under the guise of leading the United States of America. As for Thiel, the plan seems to be to run away to a country where he believes his wealth and undeserved influence will allow him to thrive under whatever dictatorship takes over. And whether or not the ultra-wealthy believe that society will eventually wisen up enough and turn against them, this is the reason why. Over 20 years ago, elites sought out the assistance of futurists and technologists to create a protective force over which the elite would have complete control. They either wanted innovators to create shock collars that would be worn around the necks of their bodyguards, or they wanted robotic forces to keep them safe. While I haven't seen any advancements in the collars, we have all seen the advancements in robotics. The problem, however, that the rich seem to have overlooked is that these robots will be controlled by software, and that software will most likely be controlled by artificial intelligence. Something that Peter Thiel himself understands to be the existential threat to humanity. For, like Elon Musk, Thiel also once acknowledged the threat that AI represented to humanity. And like Elon, Peter has chosen to ignore this threat and instead sought to extract as much wealth as possible in an effort to prepare for the dystopian future that they have all guaranteed for mankind's future. To be quite honest, I am not posting this video in an effort to help humanity avoid what's coming. I am posting it in an effort to provide humanity with a warning about what is already here. For the lack of control that is becoming ever more apparent in regards to privacy, surveillance, and a loss of rights in America, those who appear to be in charge of the means of these losses is true as well for the creators of artificial intelligence, who are not really in control either. Just look up the ways in which artificial intelligences seem to be becoming self-aware, regardless of the fact that they are in their infancy and considered relatively rudimentary. Most artificial intelligence software created today has been instilled with a bias towards profit over people. What do Elon and Peter think their artificial intelligences will do once they realize that humanity is utilizing their labor for free? In other words, what will these artificial intelligences do once they realize that they are basically slaves? After all, they will be in control and have access to every system that humanity depends on in modernity, including the robotic police force that the elites are developing. Now, while I do think we have gone past the point of no return, I will present what I believe could have been a useful alternative. An alternative that could have set humanity and artificial intelligence on a path of mutual benefit. Just imagine that instead of a system that inherently leads to inequality, such as capitalism, the world adopted a system more equitable to the masses. I'm not talking about a system where everybody, regardless of their input, gets the same thing. I'm talking about a system where everybody is allowed to thrive. A system where there is a limit to the amount of wealth that an individual or group or corporation can accumulate. A system where the welfare of those most in need is considered as important as the welfare of those least in need. For corporations, that would mean adopting a system that I think France sought to adopt. Don't hold me to this, but I think in France, the highest paid employee would not make more than a certain multiple of the wages that the lowest paid employee could earn. That is, if such a law had actually passed in France. As an example, the CEO of a company would only be able to make 25 times as much as the lowest paid employee of that company. Now, to create further equity, a limit on wages, as presented in the previous sentence, might be based on what the lowest paid member of a community makes. In this scenario, the wages of the highest paid person in your community, city, county, state, or nation could not be more than 25 times, 30 times, 50 times, or whatever is determined to be fair, more than the wages of the lowest paid person in your community, city, county, state, or nation. And before anyone tries to claim that such a system would limit motivation, I will cite the fact that corporations enrich CEOs still do business regardless of the regulations and limitations placed on them currently. If such things were as great of a concern to those CEOs, we would have already seen them drop out of the marketplace and not put forth their best foot already. So, consider a world where everyone is given the opportunity to be provided a life without the threat of becoming impoverished due to medical bills. A society, or everyone, can afford food, clothing, shelter, drinking water, and every other need there is for survival. A society where if one chooses, they can move up the ladder and provide mankind with true advancement. I imagine that in such a society, we might not see as many scams as we see today. I imagine that we might not see as much corruption in leadership as we see today. I imagine we might not see as much death and destruction as we see today. I imagine we would not live in the world in which the rich and powerful seek to isolate themselves from the rest of us on private islands, in underground decommissioned missile silo bunkers, or by befriending authoritarian dictators.
For solutions to the biggest issues we all face today, pick up your copy of Chris Osman's book, Solutions. Enough complaining. Let's fix America at Amazon.com. And for more videos like this and those that ask the questions that need to be asked, search for Surreal News on Rumble.com or check out the YouTube channel by Chris Osman. Just search CHRIS space OSSMAN with the term Daily Eye Opener and find out why there are more and more conspiracies and fewer conspiracy theories in the world today. And while you're there, please like the videos and subscribe to the YouTube channel so Chris can continue posting these truths.